Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thought I would come on and talk for a few minutes about what is centering prayer. So a lot of the posts or a lot of my posts or a lot of my videos you see, I discuss centering prayer topics, fruits of centering prayer, challenges of centering prayer, those types of topics. So I thought I would just do what is centering prayer for those people that are new to centering prayer or for those people that know nothing about centering prayer. So what is centering prayer? Centering prayer is a form of silent prayer. So what I mean by that is it's wordless prayer. Centering prayer itself was created by three Trappist monks. And actually, specifically, Father William Meninger kind of found the method of centering prayer in the book called The Cloud of Unknowing. And then he and Thomas Keating and Basil Pennington kind of further refined centering prayer, and off it went, quite frankly. So it was founded in the early 1970s, and then those three Trappist monks kind of took off with it. And then in 1984, the Contemplative Outreach was created by Thomas Keating, amongst others, and off centering prayer went, and it really has become international, quite frankly, and kind of an international prayer method. Contemplative Outreach has chapters all throughout the U.S., but they have them internationally as well. And if you go on to their website, you can see where there's a chapter. So if you're interested in finding a group that practices near you, you might find it on the Contemplative Outreach site. So that's what centering prayer is. It's really wordless prayer created in the early 1970s, found by William Meninger in The Cloud of Unknowing, and then really refined by the three Trappist monks, Keating, Basil Pennington, and William Meninger, and then off it went as a kind of a Christian silent prayer method. So what is centering prayer? Centering prayer is simple. Well, it's not so simple because you have to sit in silence, and that's very hard to do. But centering prayer really is 4 steps. It's sit. Step 2, with the use of your sacred word, or you might use an interior image, or you might use your breath, or you might do it with your eyes open and stare straight ahead. But step 2 is with the use of this method, you let go, and open to the presence and actions of God within. Yes, God is actually within you, waiting to act. It's really us who are off doing many other things instead of sitting and with God and let God act in us. So step 2 is really with the use of your sacred method, open to the presence and actions of God within. And I really believe during this step that God prays in us. I think of centering prayer as a reverse prayer. God prays in us. Step 3, whenever you have a thought or emotion, whatever that thought or emotion is, it could be excitement, or it could be the opposite of excitement and dread or fear. You let go of it and ever so gently return to your sacred method, whatever it is. And really, you do that over and over and over again as much as you need to during your centering prayer time. And then the last step, when you're done, however long you're practicing, you sit in silence for a little bit, and then you get up and resume your day. So that's really what centering prayer is. Centering prayer is wordless, silent prayer. You don't do anything, and maybe that's kind of the beauty of it. And also, don't replace your other forms of prayer. So if you have other types of prayer that you do, by all means, continue it. This is just another way to pray. It's silent, wordless prayer. And as I mentioned, I think of it as a reverse prayer. God prays in me. It's sometimes nice just to sit in silence with God and let God take over and surrender to God. So again, please don't stop your other prayer methods. Just think of this as another method of prayer that can complement your other forms of prayer. This is really just sitting with God and letting God hold us, letting God love us, letting God heal us, letting God pray in us. So those are really the 4 steps of centering prayer. That's a little bit about centering prayer and what it is. So if you're new to centering prayer, I encourage you to try it and see what happens. My website would be a great place to look if you want additional information, silenceteaches.com. If you subscribe, you'll automatically get my free, very short ebook on centering prayer. That is kind of a basic primer of what is centering prayer. And each page really just has a question, and then it answers that question on that page. Then you flip it to the next page and answer another question. I answer another question about centering prayer. So if you're new to centering prayer and want to learn more, feel free to take a look at my website, silenceteaches.com. Subscribe to it. You'll get this free ebook, and you can learn more about centering prayer. If you have questions, feel free to private message me on Facebook. Please feel free to send them on my contact page on my website. I'd be happy to explore it further with you. If it's a great question, it'll turn into a post on my site as a weekly meditation. It could turn into a post on Facebook, or sometimes if I feel it's best answered with a video, I'll go live on Facebook and put the question out there and then answer the question. So again, just wanted to pop on and talk a little bit about what is centering prayer, and offer my website as a nice resource for you to take a look at to learn more about centering prayer. And then even for those that want to create a long-term sustainable practice, I offer one-on-one coaching and work with many different people to help them get started with centering prayer, to learn the practice, to create a long-term sustainable practice. We talk about what are some of the barriers that stop you from practicing, and I try to help the person eliminate them or neutralize these challenges. And we talk about the fruits of your practice, because as you practice centering prayer, that's really the beautiful thing about it. God prays in us, and we have many fruits from the practice. These are really, we don't enter centering prayer for these fruits, but God seems to grace us with fruits, and that's really what makes it so exciting, and they're unique for each practitioner. So that's something I talk about with my clients is, what are some of the fruits you've experienced? What are some of the things how you've changed as a result of your practice? So those are things we talk about in our sessions. So again, I just want to thank everybody for popping on. I wanted to talk about what is centering prayer, give a little bit of background about centering prayer, how it started and what it is, and then offer my website as a kind of a nice resource for you to come to and learn more and explore more on centering prayer. So thanks for the folks that popped on. I see Charles, Richard, Mark, Joseph, Vanna. Thanks for popping on. And I thank those that'll catch me on the replay. And I hope everybody has a great Wednesday night. Take care, everybody.